I'm a teacher here at the Children's Institute, primarily in a classroom for students with autism.
I work in the day school at the Children's Institute. That's one facet of the Children's Institute.
In a typical school, you might have just one teacher and a student. Here, you will have a teacher, two paraprofessionals, a speech and language therapist, an occupational therapist perhaps.
Basically, autism is characterized by language delays that include social interaction delays and social communication delays.
A physical therapist, a play therapist. You may have someone who is assigned to feed them. Like any program, if you want to say that you are effective and that your students are learning, and we're just talking about a school environment, if students are learning, you have to be able to demonstrate that they're learning. It's not just that gut feeling that, yeah, you know what, he was doing this yesterday and now he's doing it today. You can't quantify that. We need to quantify the progress. All students in special education require an individual education plan.
The complexity of collecting individualized data for each student's personal goals and skills means that teachers have to constantly adapt to how they collect data on each student. And each teacher makes that data collection works for her, and each classroom might collect data differently, and each school might collect data differently because it's so challenging.
I've been working with Heather and Janet for the past year or so at the Children's Institute to understand the data collection process, the role it plays in providing support and care for students with autism, and seeing how we can develop a technology to help improve that system.
That data is priceless. It really drives the way we program for that student. Currently, some of the difficulties with our data collection is that we do everything by hand. All our graphs, all our data, it's being collected on pen and paper. So anytime that we collect the data and graph it, we're doing it by hand. It's very time consuming. Also, that person is the only person that can see that data at the time. If we want to review the data with anyone, everyone either has to come to the data or we have to take all the data to someone else.
If I'm a teacher and I want to share a specific piece of data that I've collected with another teacher, I have to go to that student's file cabinet, pull the file, to go to the teacher, then explain the way the data was collected, because data collection varies from teacher to teacher.
You have to be able to demonstrate progress in the most efficient way possible, and that has always been our issue.
There have been numerous attempts to solve these challenges in the past, but the problem is that most have been designed around the needs of one student, and they didn't really scale to a school environment. Zephyr is an iPad application that allows the Children's Institute both the level of flexibility and standardization in their data collection process, which allows the teachers to communicate more easily and better shape the child's education. We designed Zephyr over the last 6 months through a series of participatory design practices with the Children's Institute teachers and specialists. And in the design of Zephyr, there's a lot of challenges because the application has to be really, really powerful and flexible, but it also has to show a lot of restraint in its design, because when they're collecting data in the moment, there's a million distractions, and we don't want Zephyr to be one more of them.
When you look at a school, the most important part of being in a school is that teacher-student relationship. If we collect a lot of data here, and if we don't have efficient ways of collecting data, then what happens is you're spending more time doing the clerical and the organizational things, and ultimately not working with the child. As a student, as a principal, as a teacher, everyone develops their own rhythm within that environment. Being able to use the technology that can adapt to that environment so that it does become simple, those are the kinds of things that I look forward to being able to pilot and look at.